So every time I think about it, it's just wow.
That's pretty much the reaction most people had when they heard the gut-wrenching news that 30-year-old Erin Merdy allegedly drowned her own 3 small children, 7-year-old Zachary, 4-year-old Liliana, and 3-month-old Oliver, in the early hours of Monday, September 12th.
They were rushed to Coney Island Hospital, where they were regrettably pronounced deceased.
Alan McFarland is the coach of the Pee Wee League football team, the Coney Island Silverbacks in Brooklyn, New York, where Zachary played. Alan's fellow coaches often picked Zachary up from his home so he could attend practice.
And we had a conversation, and we were just thinking, like, what a tough circumstance to be in as a child, right? As a child, you think that the safest place and the safest person that you can possibly be with at a time would be your mom. And at the same time, that can be your last walk. We just sat and you said, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, they hear the words of, we just want, like, we're going to the beach. At any time you hear you're going to the beach as a child, oh, wow, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. And then in those moments, feeling hopeless, scared, and confused. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Alan learned what happened from a fellow coach later on that day.
I was shocked and in disbelief. At the very beginning, it just felt like everything just went quiet. And when everything just went quiet, it was like a real eerie feeling. And I'm like, wow.
For the year Zachary was part of the team, they all built a bond. So tell me about Zachary. Who was he?
He was a nice, good young man. Very quiet, but also very expressive and lovable, just always laughing, smiling, excited. The word I would use for him would be excited. Like, he's a very excited young man and thrilled with everything that was going on with the program and being a part of football.
Zachary played receiver, linebacker, and lineman. He even helped his team win a championship last year. Could you see a future in him going further with football, maybe to high school, college?
Yeah, definitely high school. The purpose of us is pushing these young men to go to high school because football is that thing that runs parallel with football. So to play football, you have to do good in school. So I can definitely see that.
The coaches and kids are trying to come to terms with what happened to their friend. How did you address it once the children reconvened without Zachary?
We have a Monday practice. Mm-hmm. So we said, you know what, let's push through with it. And as we came together and as the kids started trickling into the park and stuff like that, we gathered them up and we broke the news to the kids. They took it very, very hard, especially the ones that understood life and death, right? Some of the younger ones, that were also new, they don't really grasp it as much, but the older ones understood, and they took it very hard. And it was a very, very sad moment, sad moment. And we got them all together. We did a group hug, and we said a nice prayer, before the start of practice.
What's it like to have to deliver that news to your team?
Well, me personally, I don't deal with death well. So this was definitely devastating for myself. I still feel it in my heart. Like, I don't know, it's a feeling like I can't explain right now. I can't really explain it. It's devastating. It's difficult. It's like, what do you say to young men at that age that, you know, hey, listen, this has happened. And in this way, right? Because, you know, kids have questions.
Yep.
How? What happened? Who? When?
Alan recalls his experience with Zachary's mother when it came to attending her son's games and practices.
From being around his mom times that I was, she seemed like she was juggling a lot, like she had a lot going on.
And how was his appearance when he would show up to practice? Did he look clean and put together? Was he disheveled? Was he hungry? Was he thirsty? Did he look like he was lacking any sort of care?
That's kind of a tricky one as well for myself. Being a young parent and, you know, having that type of weight on your shoulders, it, you know, doesn't mean that she wasn't attentive to him, but she could have. And sometimes, like, it seemed like, you know, just things were rushed a little bit. And, you know, usually, you know, athletes have big appetites, so we never really keyed in on it. But, you know, if the kid wanted, we gave it.
With Zachary and his siblings passing, leaving behind heartbreak and a lingering question, why, to all of the lives they touched.
And the condolences to the family. I hope they find peace and understanding in this difficult time.
On Tuesday, the New York City Medical Examiner reportedly found the children's cause of death to be homicide by drowning.
Aaron is now reportedly facing charges of murder, depraved indifference to human life, and endangering the welfare of a child.
The family is now planning for a funeral at the end of the week. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie Officer.
Hey,